Welcome to Last Week in Warframe, a series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe by compiling all news, announcements, and general posts by the developers from the forums, Reddit, Twitter, and even their live streams. Timestamps to each topic as well as their sources are in the description, so without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 1st of December to the 9th. Devstream 134. The new war will not be released in 2019, but apparently it will start in some form with Empyrean, as the Railjack will be required for the new war. Steve said, to paraphrase, "It is a war and will not be a quest that you blast through in an evening. For Empyrean, we'll need to use a key to launch the Reliquary Drive, and that will apparently have a quest. We will need to research Railjack systems and weapons in the Drydock as a clan, as it is clan research, with Empyrean-specific resources needed to complete each item. The resource costs shown on Devstream were for a Shadow clan and are a work in progress as mentioned by the team. Numerous weapons and systems were shown as research with different tiers that will need prior tiers completed to upgrade higher. Those systems being engines, reactors that affect your Railjack energy capacity, guns and shields that will place in their specific slots on our Railjack. Steve said that they have, quote, committed to the co-op experience for 1.0, and that for the first Empyrean release, co-op is pretty much required for anything above the first tier of difficulty. You'll probably get good enough that you'll be able to handle it a little bit, but when we go forward with Empyrean, we'll be showing you new things that we'll be adding later on, end quote. Later, he had also shared that the design of the Railjack is, quote, taking on roles, but we'll cover that system later. Scott did follow up Steve's comments by saying that it's not that solo players are locked out, just that the difficulty progression is high. For our Railjack screen, we have 6 tabs. For weapons, here we will have 2 autocannon slots that can be swapped out for other weapons that we've researched, and then the ordnance slot for heavy impacts. Avionics will be the upgrade system, and will have a specific mod tab that features 3 different types of avionics, with each type affecting the Railjack in a different way. Each avionic mod will also be tied to a brand that will have different strengths and weaknesses. Integrated Avionics is the first, and that will have 9 slots. It is for passives that affect your Railjack's base stats. Battle Avionics will be active Railjack abilities and can be activated by anyone on a turret. And Tactical Avionics are more powerful battle avionics, but its own set that is for battle situational awareness and can be managed via the tactical menu according to Steve. Your Railjack energy capacity will limit the amount of avionics you can equip on your Railjack. Each avionic can also be upgraded with a new endo type, the Avionic Endo. The active power management system, where we could choose where the power went to and the ability to switch avionics on the fly, that has been removed. DE said this was removed due to making the gameplay confusing and slow and not fun. Now any avionics set at the start of the mission will remain active for the duration of said mission. The next section of Railjack will be the payload, and this section will show the necessary items we have for our Railjack, and these items will need to be crafted using Railjack resources. We'll need to build the fire extinguisher, flux energy that is needed to use avionics, dome charges that are needed for the forward artillery, and munitions that is needed for Railjack weapons. These will be needed in order to use the systems in missions, and they can be crafted mid-mission, especially by the soon-to-be-mentioned engineer. These items will have a build time, but on stream it was showed to be 30 seconds for the extinguisher, and as I mentioned earlier, that's work in progress. The next section after that is Intrinsics, and this screen is for personal account progression of Empyrean, where we'll choose a class to invest intrinsic points into. This screen will have a respect option, but from what was mentioned on stream, that won't be available at launch. These classes will provide bonuses such as new maneuvers, abilities, and stat reductions for things like collision damage. They will work for you, even when you aren't host and are playing with other players. There are 4 in total that will come on launch, those being Tactician, Piloting, Gunnery, and Engineering. There will be a 5th that is for the NPC crew system, but that will not be coming with the launch of Empyrean, hence why they said what they did about solo play. The final tab on our Railjack will be Customization. Here we can rename the Railjack, apply decals, skins, adjust the wear and tear, and apply colours for both the interior and exterior. As for Empyrean Matchmaking, to join a Railjack mission for public players, it will be available once you have acquired an Archwing, and there will be a tab that appears in the star chart, and upon clicking it, it will open the Empyrean star chart under the Join a Crew prompt. Selecting any node will search for an open crew on said node. As for how you host a match, you start the mission from your personal Railjack's navigation. There will be a free flight node that doesn't launch a mission, and there will also be a number of location nodes around Earth. The missions at these locations will be determined by the space layout that gets generated, and the space layout may have guaranteed locations such as the Galleon or asteroid base or more. The extinguisher for when the ship is damaged will act similar to the mining tool, as shown on screen. A Spectator Mode will be available by pressing L on your keyboard. This will bring up a display where you can select a person to spectate, but you'll also be able to cast Warframe specific abilities anywhere on the ship by selecting yours or other players' Warframe abilities in this screen, and then selecting a location on your ship. Doing so will execute the ability, as shown on screen with Vauban's Orbital Strike. Commands on this screen will also be available by selecting a small icon next to the player's name and selecting the command. Doing so will make Cephalon Psi appear on the player's screen with the selected command. The Railjack will have different damage types to what we've had for years, and while on stream the Railjack failed to die and regenerated health multiple times, but Rebecca followed up on Twitter stating that wasn't because of the usual God mode they use, but due to a bugged mod, Auxiliary Hull, stating, "When we do enter death, you have 1 minute to fix your ship from catastrophic failure. There is no instant failing." The team had also stated on stream that if everyone is on the ship when it explodes, it will be a full party wipe. Sheldon mentioned that he had also been playing solo using the invisible ability, but based on the information shared, we'll have to acquire it first in order to use it. Syndicate and NPC crew members Squad Link Modular Archwing will not be coming with a launch of Empyrean. Steve shared some Empyrean work in progress videos, and they are playing now on screen. The caption of this clip was, "Perhaps more relevant to your interests, work in progress of tuning ship maneuvers." Now, a player in relation to this tweet asked if the ship would have a smaller hitbox or a rearview mirror for strafing around asteroids, and Steve replied, "Great question. I shumped it a bit, making the ship's collision smaller and symmetrical to avoid rotations getting you snagged, and trying to be permissive about I think I can fly in there." Now, another player had shared that they prefer to have inertia and less fanciful maneuvers, and Steve said that the Railjack is not going for the sim feeling like Elite Dangerous, and that it would be tuned very tight, high drag, and counter acceleration. Now, more Kuva Lich talk was had in this dev stream. I will share the clips because if I was to say it, there would be a very angry and frustrated undertone. So let's not do that.
All right, so for Liches, we have a lot of people that have the Old Blood update that think the flavor of them killing you versus you killing them is the antithesis of what Liches are. So we'll start the conversation on the framing of Liches. So you get your pairs on, you have your Requiems, you down your Lich, you go in for the stab, and the Requiem is wrong, and then you die. But the Lich also dies and goes away and gets stronger. Do we have any plans to change your consequence in that phase?
We don't have any plans for that, no? Yeah. Nope.
All right, so right now, yeah.
Surprise question.
Yeah. And
Surprise question.
No. I'm hip to eating shit. But let me talk about this other thing over here.
Well, it's live, so players are talking about
live,
what's live, of course. But I think
I think the feedback I saw was why isn't it 76 days to kill a Lich?
Yes. That was the Tenocon thing.
And why, which is part of the Tenocon UI, and why can the Lich beat me up so badly?
Yes.
And of course, we didn't think that you'd want to wait 76 days to get a Lich weapon, Kuva Lich weapon. So we shortened that loop dramatically.
Yes.
And it did not work out, we thought, to have it going on and dragging on. And so we tightened that loop. And in terms of why does the Lich punch you out when you fail, one of the things we discovered when we did the finishers for the Liches was it was very interesting or unique for the game that there'd be someone that would kick your butt for a change, because you kill everyone.
Yes.
And so that's why we did that inversion. So there you go.
That's not to say that there isn't changes to the system coming.
Yep.
It's just right now that is not our focus. Obviously, with the giant pile of stuff that we just showed, that's our current focus.
Yes.
Probably when we regroup in the new year, it'll be addressing those things.
And I think one thing that's been pretty popular around the office
And
is
more
just
factions,
I was just going to say
more
the system's going to always, it's going to be looked at for a while because of the faction expansion.
And I mean,
as
if we
well,
make the
so-
Corpus Liches, maybe we'll make them last 79 days.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely,
people can have their cake and eat it too. Your 79-day Liches will be Corpus. And then I think one other big thing that was passed around was just Paladino having a role in this system with the ribbon fragments. And you can go to Paladino once a week to bring your ribbon fragments, which come from the Requiem relics. Maybe once a week you can also go to her and she will dispel a Lich for you or something of that nature. So if you got a Lich you don't want, once a week you can go to her and she'll get rid of it or something along those lines. Those are just some of the conversations that are happening. That's not a guarantee on the feature. That's just based on the feedback what we're seeing. So
Yep. And I think we will address that feedback and we will look at the system, especially when it has a longer term to kind of sit.
Yep.
But it's not going to be before the year end.
Yep, that's fine. I think that's kind of what we've told our players as well. Is right now we don't expect anything super major, but trading's live, so at the very least you can get exactly what you're looking for now through trading. If another player has it for you, to the long-term plans to have converted liches as NPCs when we release that down the road. Yesterday, during testing, Dave got his converted lich
To
on
come
his
in and
channel.
Help them out,
with
save his boarding party, so it was quite entertaining.
Yeah.
Also, in relation to that Lich talk, early in the week, Rebecca had responded to one of the numerous upvoted posts about the Liches on the subreddit that questioned why the Liches don't actually die and come back, and Rebecca's response was similar to that of the Devstream clips. The lore choices, flow choices are pretty much set. Pacing is up for review, but the Lich True Immortality plus Parazon Requiem flow is not changing as far as I know. For those who care about experimental flight for Archwings, that will not be returning, as Steve said they want to make one good mode instead of multiple ones. On Reddit, DE Dean shared this clear image from the promotional material for the Devstream. For those that want it, a link is in the description. Moving on from the Devstream, Megan provided us with information on a missed improvement that came in update 26.1 on PC, and that was that Vauban's Flechette Orb damage multiplier now scales based on average enemy level in range. For console players Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch, update 26.0.8 is live on your platforms, and for Nintendo Switch you guys now have the All Blood update and everything up to that hotfix. Information about that update for Switch players is in the patch notes if you want to read it, but all consoles now have the converted Lich trading system, back-to-back duplicate protection, and the defiled Requiem mod transfusion. Separately for PlayStation players, the 9th PlayStation Plus booster pack is live with the Boltor and Boltor Obsidian skin, Obsidian Indra Sigil, a 7-day affinity and credit booster, 100,000 credits, and 100 platinum. Atlas Prime Access will be closed for sale on the Prime Access website on the 17th of December, but will remain farmable in-game via relics. Zephyr Prime, Tiburon Prime, and Cronin Prime's relics will be removed from the drop tables in-game, as they will be entering the Prime Vault on the same date. The next Prime Access will be Ivara Prime, Baza Prime, and Axamati Prime, with an Iatan-themed armor set and Syndana. Moving on, if you have Twitch Prime, you can get a free Ember Wisp slot and a primed Orbiter interior decoration by redeeming it through Twitch Prime. Some sort of announcement will be made by Rebecca at the Game Awards on the 12th of December, and if you watch 30 minutes of the Game Awards on Twitch with a linked Warframe and Twitch account, you'll also receive a Galaxian Vandal with a slot. The 18th Tenogen round submission end date has been announced, so if you're a Tenogen creator, make sure to submit your projects before the 20th of January 2020 at 2 PM Eastern Time if you're finished. Tenoborn is also live, but there's no extras this year, and after DE moved feedback about the lack of anything to another thread, Rebecca responded to the feedback saying, "We wanted to do something despite being limited this year. Obviously, we'd always like to do more, and we hope we can do more in the future. Your support is still incredibly appreciated." For those who saw Tactical Potatoes videos about a possible Saryn Nerf, Pablo has come out on the forums and Twitter saying, "If you come to my stream, you can expect to hear me say a lot of random shit. My stream isn't work, I'm just playing around, not working on nerfing Saryn at the moment. So don't expect a nerf soon or at all, but be wary that he has shared his opinion on the frame." Getting close to the end, Steve shared a clip of the new fog lighting in one of the Empyrean Grineer ships, And lastly, DE George shared this video on Twitter with some teasers.
Hey everyone, just want to show you what some of the guys are working on for sound design. Let's go take a look. See what Willem's working on here. Hey Willem.
Hey.
All right, good. Let's show us a little sound design stuff. Maybe a little something you're working on.
Yeah, sure.
Huh?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm working on this ability. Yeah, it's a new enemy. It's an ability sound.
Nice.
Using a bunch of different layers. Using a bit of the death whistle again.
Nice. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. We can look forward to that in an upcoming update.
Yeah.
All right, let's go see what Carl's working on here. Go down the hallway. Let's see here, down the dark hallway. All right. Hey, Carl.
Hello.
Hey, you working on some interesting sound design stuff?
Yeah, I'm working on a weapon right now that is coming out soon.
All right, yeah, let's take a listen. You want to show us a bit?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice little synth here. Look at that. Yeah.
So this is the shot.
Nice.
Couple variations.
Nice.
We have some mech too.
Nice.
All together. Let's unmute this. Unmute this. All together should sound like this.
Great. All right. Upcoming update of a weapon.
Yeah.
See it soon.
Anyway, that concludes this episode of Last Week in Warframe. If you found the video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you want the channel glyph, it is up on your screen. There are 5 codes per platform. If someone else has already used it, that means you can no longer get it using that code. If you want to check out last week's episode, the annotation on your screen will take you right to it. Thank you for watching.